Oh, hi, Auni.
Hi, Kalila.
Wait, what are you guys doing here?
Kalila, don't you remember what day it is today?
Remember what? Is it something important?
Yes, I would definitely say so.
Wait, I remember now. How could I forget? Allow me to greet you properly. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and a very warm welcome to all the judges, teachers, guests, and participants for this year's Fully Residential Schools International Symposium. Isn't today such a wonderful day, Auni?
Yes, it is Kalila.
And do you know what would make it even more interesting?
What is it?
This event, obviously.
That is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm very glad you finally remembered.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that the Fully Residential Schools International Symposium was first initiated by the Ministry of Education Malaysia in 2011 under the Fully Residential Schools Management Division in partnership with the National Commission for UNESCO Malaysia. Through a systematic research and creation of video presentations on cutting edge issues, we hope to instill the culture of critical thinking, decision making, as well as the most important part of all, creativity amongst the youth. In line with this event's objectives, our aim is to nurture towering personalities as well as leadership qualities for our leaders of tomorrow. You are all cordially invited to watch the presentations on the sub-theme COVID-19, a paradigm shift in teaching and learning, and later have a chance to pose any questions you might have for our presenters.
We would like to inform you all that a quiz will be held at the end of the second session for our track. You might ask, what do I get for joining this quiz? So let me answer that for you. You will get an international level e-certificate if you manage to answer 18% correctly. As planned for today, we have 15 teams that are going to present for us overall. However, for this session, we are only going to hear from the first 5 teams. Before we begin, I would like to introduce our esteemed judges for today. Our Chief Judge, Associate Professor Dr. Haliza Harun. Dr. Haliza Harun is a senior lecturer from University Sains Islam Malaysia. Next, our second judge, Miss Raja Mohana Anak Perempuan Raja Gopal from College Islam Sultan Alam Shah. And our last judge, Mr. Amzari Rafhan Muhammad Ramli from Sekolah Menengah Agama Persekutuan Bentong.
It is our pleasure to be the moderators for today. Hi, I am Putri Edina Khalila binti Muhammad Fuad, and my partner is Nur Auni Nazura binti Muhammad Nazri. We are both from Sekolah Seri Puteri. Now, please allow me to read the rules. Number 1, each team should consist of presenters and a technical assistant. Number 2, the presentation must focus on the sub-theme COVID-19, a paradigm shift in teaching and learning. Number 3, the duration of the presentation should not be more than 10 minutes. And finally, a question and answer session will be held at the end of the presentation. Auni, did you know that this year we have a total of 105 international participants joining us?
Really? That many?
Yes, but I don't remember what countries are joining us. Do you?
As a matter of fact, I do. This year, FRSIS will have participants from countries such as India, Thailand, Turkey, Indonesia, Vietnam, and the Philippines. Okay, enough about that. So, to start us off today, let's hear from the first team. From Sekolah Menengah Tuanku Syed Putra with their topic, Healthcare Innovations and Mental Health Management During the Pandemic. And I would like to welcome the presenters, Ahmad Nafis Darwish bin Zulkarnain and Nurul Fadilah Dayana binti Syahid Azhar. You have the stage.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Ahmad Nafiz Darwish.
Hi, I am Nurul Fadila Dayana.
Hi, my name is Siti Aisyah binti Abdul Rahman.
My name is Akiz Zafar
We
Miratani.
are the representative from Sekolah Menengah Sains Tuanku Seri Puteri.
Today we are going to present our research which is challenges of online learning faced by Malaysian students during the COVID-19 pandemic.
I will be presenting about background of our research. Due to COVID-19, education has made a major shift from face-to-face towards online learning, which home-based learning was introduced nationwide to make learning possible at home. Then, many students face various issues and challenges of the home-based teaching and learning, which we call PDPR. Also, COVID-19 predicted to be a long healing process, so students should try their best adapting to the new learning mode. Then, we decided to create a survey containing questions to students about issues they face while learning online classes during pandemic. The result is total 200 students from different government and private secondary schools in different states of Malaysia participate in the survey.
And today, I'll be explaining about method and participation. How do we collect data? Firstly, we create a form by using Google Form, and we ask a few questions about challenges faced by students during online learning. Then, we distribute the form to the whole school and other schools online. We kindly ask them to answer the form so we can get the information that we're looking for. There are 280 responses by the student that has submitted the form. We divided responses by age, so there are 46 responses from Form 1, 26 responses from Form 2, and also 26 responses from Form 3, followed by 84 responses from Form 4, and lastly is 36 responses from Form 5. We have included 5 different school types for students to complete. The school types are from fully residential school, national secondary school, religious secondary school, technical school, and lastly is Mara Junior Science School. That's all from me. Thank you.
I'm going to present data which we have collected and analyzed based on questionnaire survey. Do you share your devices with your family members for online classes? Most of the respondents, which are 191 respondents, or 87.6%, responded no because they have their own cell phones. Meanwhile, 27 respondents, or 12.4%, responded yes, which means they have to share their devices with their family members. The second question that we asked is, do you have trouble reaching the network at your place? The most answered by respondents was neutral with 47.7%, or 104 respondents. This means sometimes they do have trouble and sometimes they don't. The second goes to agree with 22%, or 48 respondents. It shows that their place has slow network and have trouble reaching the network every time in online classes. Disagree comes up next with 17.4%, or 38 respondents. It shows that they have stable internet at their place. Strongly disagree follows with 6.9%, or 15 respondents. Lastly, strongly agree with 13 respondents, or 6%. This shows that their network is lagging, which sometimes causes them to have a problem participating in online classes. Moving on to the third question. Is there too much distraction for you to learn online at home? Strongly disagree comes up with 8 respondents, or 3.7%. This shows that they are learning online without any distractions. Next is strongly agree with 29 respondents, or 13.3%. This may be the fact caused by their surroundings, such as their neighborhood is very noisy and it makes them not focus in class. The third place has disagree with 30 respondents, or 13.8%. Next is agree with 30.3%, or 66 respondents. This may be caused by their siblings always disturbing them while in class. Lastly, neutral with 39%, or 85 respondents. Next question that we asked is, does staring at the screen for too long make your eyes feel strained? Strongly disagree comes last with 3.2%, or 7 respondents. This may be because their eyes get enough rest so they don't get tired too easily. Fourth on the list is disagree with 10.1%, or 22 respondents. Neutral comes next with 21.1%, or 46 respondents. This shows that sometimes they do and don't. Next, strongly agree with 25.7%, or 56 respondents. The cause of their eyes feeling strained is maybe because they're not getting much sleep. Lastly, agree with 39.9%, or 87 respondents. Like I said earlier, the cause may be because they didn't get enough rest, which makes their eyes tired and could not focus in class. Moving on, you could not understand the lesson delivered online. Coming up with 2 respondents, or 0.9%, is strongly disagree. Disagree comes up next with 22 respondents, or 10.1%. This may be because they can understand what the teacher is teaching online and also face to face. Next, strongly agree with 16.5%, or 36 respondents. The cause of this may be because they are doing something else while the teacher is teaching, which makes them not capable to understand anything. Coming up with 35.3%, or 77 respondents, are neutral. This may be because there are topics that are hard to understand and they are afraid to ask, which makes them do not fully understand. Coming in first is agree with 37.2%, or 81 respondents. Like I said earlier, the cause of not fully understanding the lesson that is being taught is maybe because they are scared to ask their teachers online, or they are doing something else while the teacher is teaching, like playing games and sleeping. Sixth question. Do you find it difficult to focus while learning online? Respondents or 1.4% chose strongly disagree. 22 respondents or 10.1% chose disagree with the statement. This shows that they are able to focus learning online in this pandemic. Following up with 50 respondents or 22.9% is strongly agree. The fact of this is maybe because learning online is a bit harder to focus. There are a lot of distractions which makes them unable to focus while the teacher is teaching. 59 respondents or 37.1% chose neutral. The balance, which is 84 respondents or 38.5%, agree that it is difficult while learning online. Seventh question. Do you often have a problem waking up early for your online classes? Coming out from the bottom is strongly disagree with 10.1% or 22 respondents. The respondents who vote for disagree may be sleep early and is capable of waking up early in the morning. Next is agree with 15.6% or 34 respondents. The cause of this may be the fact that they stay up late playing games and sleep late. Strongly agree comes up next with 16.1% or 25 respondents. The fact that cause this is like I just said before. They stay up late and play games without getting rest, which makes their bodies tired and need a lot of sleep. It's because you have to wake up late in the morning and miss class. Disagree comes second with 28% or 61 respondents. The respondents who voted disagree might be a person who is capable to divide their time responsibly. Lastly, neutral with 30.3% or 66 respondents. Moving on to the last third question. Do you have the motivation to learn online? Strongly disagree coming last on the list with 5% or 11 respondents. These respondents still have the motivation to learn online. Strongly agree comes up next with 11.9% or 26 respondents. The fact that they have no motivation is maybe because they couldn't understand anything they learned online, which makes them to give up on online learning. Agree and disagree that's up with 24.3% or 53 respondents. This is maybe because of their mindset. If they keep saying no to everything they do, they won't be able to achieve it. So the solution is to always think positive so that we will be motivated to learn online. Lastly, is neutral with 34.4% or 35 respondents. They sometimes think learning online is stress and all that, and sometimes it is fun. Going on with the second last question. Do you find it difficult and troublesome to submit homework to your teachers? Strongly disagree and strongly agree ties with 6.4% or 14 respondents. The fact that they chose strongly agree is maybe because they have a tight schedule and do not have time to complete it. Agree comes up next with 17.9% or 39 respondents. Like I mentioned earlier, they might have a tight schedule or they could also have a bad network, which makes them incapable of submitting homework to the teachers. Disagree comes up next with 38.9% or 63 respondents. Lastly, neutral with 40.4% or 88 respondents. The last question that we surveyed to our 218 respondents is could you not catch up with the lessons as teachers are rushing for syllabus? Strongly disagree comes up from the bottom with 4.1% or 9 respondents. This shows that they could catch up with the lessons that are being taught. Disagree coming up next with 9.2% or 20 respondents. Strongly agree with 18.3% or 40 respondents. The fact that they pick up this option is maybe because the teachers are rushing too fast, which makes the students aren't able to catch up. The second goes to agree with 32.1% or 70 respondents. As I said before, for strongly agree, the cause of this is also because learning online is way harder than learning face-to-face. This is because if there is a project like science, for example, they won't be able to do it because all the equipment that is needed to do the project is in the lab. There are also students who are scared to ask the teacher when the teacher is teaching online. Meanwhile, when we are learning face-to-face, students can find the teacher personal after class rather than asking in class. Lastly, is neutral with 36.2% or 79 respondents.
Our suggestions on the research are: firstly, parents. Parents should ask their children if they need any help and willing to help them anytime. Offer scholarship program for students who are from unprivileged family background and internet subsidy schemes for students who are in need. Schools should create e-games or e-quizzes to make online learning more fun and engaging, and private talk or counseling session for students who are having problems to join online classes, and encourage them to do homework by giving a small reward that will make them through the.
As a conclusion, this research has shown that most of the students have agreed and disagree on some problems that they often facing during online classes. For example, like could not fully understand the online lesson, while for the another major is neutral on some things that happen. With this survey, I hope the issues will be solved by the support of parents and the help of the government and school for students comfortably learning online classes in the future.
Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. So Welcome back, judges. If you'd like to give any comments, you are welcome to do so. But for now, let's continue with the question and answer session first. So anyone that has question? Okay, so we have a question from Iyama Sarah. And the question is, what do teachers need to do to help improve the online learning experience of students? Can the presenters kindly address the questions?
Okay. First of all, teachers can help to improve the online learning experience for students by making quizzes and games while in classes, such as quizzes or any games that's suitable for learning, because this will make the students be more interested in taking part and to learn more and be interested in learning. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the explanation. Do we have any question? Okay, so we have a question from Glonity 925. And the question is, what have you learned during the pandemic period? Do the presenters have an answer to the question?
Hello?
Hello?
I'm
Yes.
sorry, I
So
think we
what
can't
I
hear
have
you.
learned during the pandemic period is that we should not take things for granted whenever we can do, so that because we used to take it for granted, like going out and other things, like so now we should reflect that this as a time for ourselves. Oh, you can hear me or not?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Hello?
Well, we can't hear you. I'm very sorry, but with the technical glitches because of the pandemic right now, that I think because everyone is using the Wi-Fi and it's lagging. So, can you try to answer the question again? Very sorry. Diana, are you with us?
Are you okay?
Okay, I will take the questions.
Yes.
So, what have I learned
Thank
during
you.
this pandemic period? Um, the thing that I learned is educational matters have been severely disrupted, and I think I found it people creatively innovate things to face these challenges. And this period also we can take a time to look at our life, to appreciate everything we has and don't take everything for granted. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have any question from the judges or any comments to the presenters?
Okay, I will start. Can you hear me? All
Yes, we
right.
can.
Okay.
Yep.
To any of the what do you call representative or the presenter, what triggers you to actually um, conduct this research among the students? Any presenters can answer. What interests you, all right, to conduct this kind of research in the first place among the what do you call the students, because you have different forms, right? Different
Hello,
forms of
can
students. So
you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
any one of you, can you answer?
Okay. So what interests us to doing this research is, um, for me, me myself as a student found it really hard to learning at home. So we be the voices of the students to spread awareness about these challenges that faced by students during online learning. So yeah, that what interests us on doing this research.
Right, thank you.
Okay, I'm afraid that time is up. You all have answered very well. Ami, please proceed.
Thank you.
So thank you to all the judges and also Sekolah Menengah Tuan Khusyid Putra for answering all the questions. So let's move on with the second school for today.
Ami, I think the
Yes?
school are not here yet. Where are they?
Oh, really?
Ami, can you see
I'm
them
not
anywhere?
sure. No, I cannot see. Okay, we can wait for them.
Ami, have you watched
Yes?
the Aladdin movie in Disney?
Of course.
Okay, do you think that if we call them 3 times, they will appear? Like, hello, you know? Sahabat
I
Bilang,
think you need to
are they
sing
here?
the whole new song and then they will come.
No, I don't have a very good voice. I don't think I will sing today. So we'll just
Okay.
wait. Where are they? Ani,
I'm not
maybe you
sure.
want to sing?
No, I asked you.
Okay, never mind. Ani, did you know that FRSIS is actually very closely based on the UNESCO's guidelines? They are called Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 of them, but on our track, we focus on the fourth SDG, which is on education and how we cope and everything. So make sure everyone has their, like education.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yes. So everyone can have a good education. So the ones that have less, the ones that don't have as much as opportunity as us to make sure that they can also learn. Wait, I don't think they are here yet.
Where are they? Mm,
I don't know. Wait, I see one of them.
really?
Maybe his friend is not here. Wait, I already see both of them. Okay,
Oh,
so
good. Let's continue.
we will have the next school, which is Sekolah Berasrama Penuh Integrasi Sabak Bernam, with their topic COVID-19, a paradigm shift in teaching and learning. The presenters are Sazra Afisha binti Muhammad Azli and Adib bin Saiful Nizar. Stage is yours.
Good morning to the honorable judges, teachers, friends, participants, and audiences of FRSIS 2021. We are from Team Inner Saber. The topic that we will be presenting today is COVID-19 gains and losses, a paradigm shift in teaching and learning. Before we start the presentation, let's watch a video about what is online teaching and learning from the InterSaber students.
What is online learning and teaching?
Online learning and teaching refers to education that takes place over the internet.
Is education use virtual platform?
Learning and teaching at classroom but through another platform versus online.
A situation where we are having class without meet the teachers.
So students can find various information through various platforms
without having to physically attend classes or lectures.
It's been normalized in our life
during COVID-19 pandemic.
Is an interaction between the teacher and the learner.
Continue learning and teaching despite being far from each other.
It has become one of the most popular means of education
as a main alternative to continue the process of education.
It is often referred to as e-learning among other terms.
I'll begin the presentation with defining the keywords of our topic today. There are two keywords in this topic, which are COVID-19 and online teaching and learning. From the research we have done, we found that the World Health Organization has defined COVID-19 as an infectious disease caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Most people infected with the virus will experience respiratory illness. Anyone can get sick with COVID-19 and become seriously ill or die at any age. As for online teaching and learning, Arkolful and Abaidu defined it as using information and communication technologies for enabling access to online teaching and learning resources. With the rise of COVID-19 cases, schools and educational institutions are forced to close, and students and teachers have to start online classes as a substitute for missing school hours. Due to this situation, teachers and students encounter a lot of problems. Our team conducted a small research on this issue. After going through all the findings, there were a few obvious problems faced by both teachers and students. The first problem is the students' understanding and distractions. Students lose focus and were unable to understand the subject because of this. The second problem is the digital incompetency among teachers, such as being unable to conduct activities to make the lessons more compelling and interesting. The last problem in our presentation is internet and device-related problems, such as a constant lag and low specification devices, making it hard for them during online classes. Next up, I'll present the conceptual map of online teaching and learning during COVID-19 and how the initial problems actually benefited both parties. It begins with the rising number of COVID-19 cases, leading to the government's decision to implement movement control order. This then caused schools to be closed and lessons conducted online. The online lessons came with some problems for the students and teachers, but later they have adapted and turned these problems into gains.
Let's turn now to our first research problem, which is students lose focus and are distracted during lesson. This has become a problem as there is no face-to-face interaction. As a result, students tend to sleep during lessons, resulting in their inability to understand what the teacher is teaching. Other than that, social media and online games are other factors contributing to the students' habit to spend excessive hours online. Consequently, students stay up late every night and miss lessons the next morning. From our research, we've discovered that despite the problems, students have actually become more resourceful. This chart is projected from our survey data, and it shows 87.6% of students agreed that they've become more resourceful since the pandemic started back in March 2020. This is due to the fact that students are looking for information on their own and have discovered various types of platforms they've never known before this. For instance, there are numerous channels on YouTube that caters to different subjects, like Cikgu Chong's channel for mathematics, as well as Edited TV, which caters for all subjects. Furthermore, there is also a simulation website created by University of Colorado Boulder called PHET Interactive Simulations that allows students to conduct experiments at home without proper apparatus. Moreover, from our research, we also discovered that majority of students agreed that they have learned new, unheard, and uncommon vocabularies through online games such as Mobile Legends, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, as known as PUBG, and many more. For example, the word looting, prone, and also flank. Plus, there are also educational contents on social media platforms such as mcplus.my on TikTok, which give information on some tips on studying. Hence, these prove that online teaching and learning does not cause students to lose focus and be distracted. Instead, they gain more knowledge.
Moving on to our next point, digital incompetency among teachers is the second problem in our research. This problem is caused by teachers are not familiar with online teaching and are not well trained to conducting online classes. Hence, this problem resulted to teachers' initiative to attend online courses and webinars on IT skills. We have discovered that 12 out of 22 respondents agreed with this. These online courses and webinars have helped the teachers to understand the uses of current applications and softwares in e-learning. Thereby, teachers now are able to apply the knowledge and run interesting lessons for students. They use online websites such as Kahoot, Quizzes, and LiveWorksheet.com to assign works for students. These interactive activities allow students to have more fun in learning. We have discovered this interesting way of education by doing a survey to our school teachers.
Now, let's move on to the last problem from our research, which is the internet. We have found out that not all students can afford to subscribe to unlimited mobile data or Wi-Fi, causing them to be absent for the whole class session.
Furthermore, there are also students who face slow internet connection. As a result, they get disconnected many times because of the unstable connection. All this problem has affected their online learning experience. Surprisingly, this problem has led to something more interesting. We can actually see that students gain more than what they lost. Based on our survey, 97 of 121 students in our school agreed that they have become more independent. Students take their own initiative to study and do revision about the subject or topic that they miss out during the online class. For example, watching the class recording is one of the best ways to do self-study and revision. Moreover, we have found that watching the class recording can actually save your data. Now, let's have a look at the table. We can actually see that YouTube saves 50% of your data as compared to 1 hour of Google Meet session, which means 2 class recording are equivalent to 1 hour of Google Meet session.
To summarize the topic, even though there were a lot of people saying that online teaching and learning doesn't bring more benefits as compared to conventional lessons, but our findings have proved differently. We actually gain a lot of benefits from e-learning. First, students and teachers have become more resourceful and creative with how they handle the online classes. Second, students have more fun as teachers carried out more effective lessons. Third, they have gained more knowledge and skills they would have never learned in a conventional classroom. Some people have never even made a PowerPoint presentation before during the conventional classes. Last but not least, all these prove that the dire situation has pushed students and teachers to get out of their comfort zones, leading to the paradigm shift in teaching and learning during the COVID-19 pandemic. Before we end our presentation, let's enjoy this video about COVID-19 teaching and learning.
Hey, here's how the class. What do you understand by learning? So today we will learn how to write. Hey class, kindly turn to page 92 in your textbook, and we will know more about this.
Definitely entertaining. I think because most of us can actually relate with this online learning. Okay, so welcome back, judges. So presenters, are you ready for our question and answer session? Okay, so we already have a first question from user Norazin Farina Dawang, and the question is, what challenges did you go through when preparing this project? So presenters, would you address the question?
So, let me take this question. So, while preparing this project, we don't face any big problem, but um, we learn how to manage our time, and we have become more efficient in our time management. Like, we schedule our meeting every Friday night, so um, it is not a there's no big problem for this project.
Okay, thank you very
That's all.
much. That was a very good explanation. Okay, so do we have another question from the audience? Okay, there is one from Ilya Matsara, and the question is, what is something you have gained from this research? Presenters?
Am I audible enough?
Yes, you are.
Okay. From my point of view, what I've gained from this research is that throughout the research, it is important for us to express our opinion in the team discussion, and also from this research, we also learn to look at a situation from various perspectives. Thank you. I hope that
Okay.
answers the question.
Are you nervous?
A little.
Well, it's understandable because you are live, and to be honest, I am also a little bit nervous. Okay, so judges, would you like to give any comments or additional questions for our presenters?
I would like to ask a question. Okay, how are y'all today actually?
Oh,
Are y'all okay?
I'm good.
We're good.
Yes,
Thank
very
you.
good.
So, can you share with us what you like or dislike about online classes? Your own experience.
Oh, can I take this question?
Yes,
Thank
Okay.
you.
As for myself, I like this online learning because I can repeat. I can watch the recording many times, so I get more understanding about the lesson as compared to conventional class. The class is over, it's over. Then we cannot repeat the time, right? So, what I dislike about this online learning is sometimes I've got a internet connection problem, so I get disconnected. Yeah, that's all from me.
Okay, thank you.
I actually agree with you. You know, with online classes, we can repeat them. Okay, so the other judges, would you like to give any more comments or questions?
I'd like to ask, so any presenters can answer the question, what do you mean by paradigm shift? Because the title of it is, if I'm not mistaken, COVID-19, Gains and Losses, a paradigm shift in teaching and learning. So can you explain the key elements or the definition of this paradigm shift and how that is related to your research?
Uh,
Um, Maybe I'll try to answer that question. Um, so for me, I believe a paradigm shift is a big changes in educational. So from the traditional or conventional classes to online classes. So this the COVID-19 pandemic caused the schools to be closed and lessons have to be conducted online. And so from our research, we wanted to prove that the online lessons came with some problems for the students and the teacher. But later, they've adapted and then turned these problems into gains.
Tazra, very sorry
Yes.
to interrupt, but we have enough time for the answer and question session. Can we move to the next school? I'm so sorry.
yes,
But it's
Thank
okay,
you.
you all did
it's
very
okay.
well. Okay, so thank you very much, judges, and also Sekolah Berasram Penuh Integrasi Sabak Pernam. Yes, you all did very good. So, Ami?
Okay, let's move on with our third school for today. Please welcome Sekolah Menengah Sultan Iskandar with their topic COVID-19, a paradigm shift in teaching and learning. And the presenters are Yasmin Zahira binti Muhammad Amin and Siti Sarah Khadijah binti Mazlan. You have the stage.
At Iskandar, we always live our best life, but not until COVID came and it became like this. I guess, anyways.
As we all know, the world is facing a pandemic. This pandemic has pushed us into a new norm. Therefore, people need to change our lifestyle. As a student, the pandemic has greatly changed the way we learn. In fact, it has caused a paradigm shift in teaching and learning. According to Merriam-Webster, a paradigm shift is an important change that happens when the usual way of thinking about or doing something is replaced by a new and different way. Whereas, according to Wikipedia, teaching and learning is a process that includes many variables. These variables interact as learners work toward their goals and incorporate new knowledge, behaviors, and skills that add to their range of learning experiences. The pandemic has caused the traditional way of face to face learning to shift to e learning. Now, instead of sitting classroom, students are at home in front of their laptops and smartphones waiting for online classes. But are students prepared for this paradigm shift? So, our team have decided to investigate the readiness of secondary students towards e-learning. The objective is to determine students' readiness in terms of technology access, technology skills, time management, and study skill and motivation. 231 students from Sekolah Menengah Sains Sultan Iskandar have participated in this research.
The data we collected is quantitative data. We distribute the questionnaire for students to answer. The questionnaire is divided into 5 sections: technology access, technology skills, time management, study skills, and motivations. In addition, we use 5-point Likert scale to help students to determine their level of readiness toward e-learning.
Based on the table, we were able to analyze the percentage of students that state their readiness in terms of technology access. The highest percentage of students rated strongly agree on the item "I have access to electronic devices for my online class." The second highest item chosen is "I have access to electronic devices with an internet connection." However, for items "I have access to stable internet at home" has the mostly choose agree and neutral. As for the item "My smartphone or computer can access to all kind of application or software," about a quarter percentage of students had chosen neutral and strongly. But not many have access to stable internet connection. Overall, we concluded in terms of technology access, students are ready for e-learning. The table indicates that more than half of the percentage of students have chosen strongly agree for the item "I know how to connect to an internet." The item also have 0 votes for disagree and the least amount of strongly disagree. About half of the students choose the item "I am able to use internet search engine to find information effectively." Item "I can use Microsoft Word to do my homework and online tasks" has the least amount of strongly agree and the highest percentage for the strongly disagree. From the result, we discovered that most of the students have knowledge of technology access. Next, based on the table, we were able to analyze the percentage of students that state their readiness in terms of time management. The highest percentage of students rated strongly agree on the item "I am disciplined, attend, and participated in all of my classes." The second highest item chosen is "I can get my homework done ahead of the time." However, for items "I am able to sacrifice times to complete the homeworks and do revision" has the mostly choose agree and neutral. As for the "I can control my desire to control important tasks," about a quarter percentage of students had chosen neutral and agree, but not many can control and manage their time. Overall, we concluded in terms of time management, students are ready for e-learning. Moving on to our next table, this table indicates that more than half of the percentage of students have chosen strongly agree for the item "I set goals and objective for learning." Then, for item "I am able to attend my classes and complete my homework even when there are online distractions" have massive vote for agree and neutral, and the least amount of strongly disagree. About half of the students choose neutral for the item "I enjoy learning even if it can be challenging and interesting." Item, I think online classes are more flexible, which motivates me to attend, has the least amount of strongly agree and the highest percentage for the strongly disagree. From the result, we discovered that most of the students didn't deserve a lot of motivation to help them facing online classes, but still, most of them be able to attend most of their classes. Moving on to our last table, more than half of the percentage of students have chosen strongly agree for the item I am able to communicate effectively with other pupils using technologies. Next, about half of the students choose the item I am able to express my thought and ideas through handwriting, but some of them choose disagree too. Item, I can comfortably do my academic work independently without face-to-face interaction with teacher has the mostly choose agree and neutral. As for the item, I can find a solution to a problem in a systematic way, students mostly choose neutral and also disagree options. From the result, we discovered that most of the students already have a great learning skill, even though they still need to facing online classes at home.
For recommendations, the results of this study revealed that students are ready for e-learning in terms of technology access, technology skills, time management, motivation, and learning skills. However, we cannot overlook at the small percentage of students that might not be ready for e-learning. Therefore, we have some suggestions that can be taken in order to ensure that all students are ready for e-learning. First, the government needs to provide gadgets such as tablets and laptops to underprivileged students, so they don't have to share their gadgets with their siblings. Moreover, teachers need to provide an instruction book on how to use technology, apps, and software to make it easier for students to complete and submit their homework. Next, do you guys know that human brain is the most active and effective in study is between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So schools should change their schedules so it starts later in the morning. This gives students more time to prepare in class for in the morning. Lastly, the government should provide internet supply SIM card to families with children who face online learning that have internet access problems.
This study examines students' readiness. They contribute to the success of the e-learning process. The analysis of the results showed that the participants of the study are ready in terms of technology access, technology skills, time management, motivation, and learning skills. However, in order for e-learning to be effective for all of the students, the recommendations that have been given should be taken as intervention for improvements.
What a cute presentation for me, and I very love it already. So welcome back, visitors. If you'd like to give any comments, you are welcome to do so. But for now, let's continue with the question and answer session. So anyone that has questions? Okay, so we have question from Adeline, and the question is: do you have any suggestions on how to improve online learning for students with special needs, like
How to
visual,
improve
hearing,
for
and
students with special needs.
what do you have to say about that presentation?
Sorry, okay. For students with special need, I think we need to help them to join online classes with special treatment, such as we help them with their motivation, with their internet supplies, with their equipment. So to make sure all of them ready and be able to enjoy the class and also can join the class without having any problem and facing some of their special problem. And I hope um, the student can join their classes and get the educations same and for same as the other students.
Thank you so much for the explanation. Do you have any question from the audience? Okay, so we have a question from Adina, and the question is, what could we have done better during the COVID-19 crisis last year to help you get the most out of your studies? Presenters, can we have your response?
Thank you for the question. Okay, for the better during COVID-19 crisis last year, the thing that can help me is to prepare something that like a suitable study place and internet supplies, and most of the important thing that the time is that I can manage my time and my family time in a specific way, and then we can so that students can enjoy the online learning and enjoy the time that we can do in home. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So can we proceed to the judges? Do you have any comment? Will judges
Oh,
be
I'm
so
sorry,
kind to
Mr.
ask?
Uda.
If there is no question, I'll ask a question first. Possibly later the judge would be asking other judges. Can you provide us one example of a paradigm shift when you want to conduct online research?
What do you have to say
Presenters,
about
would
that,
you address it?
presenters?
I'm sorry, but I can hear you clearly. Can you repeat the questions?
All right, I'll repeat the question. Can you give an example of a paradigm shift that will be required in conducting an online research? What did you undergo, right, in terms of this paradigm shift, as you, if you have given the definition in your presentation? So my question is the paradigm shift that is related to online research.
I think the paradigm shift that related to this online shift is like as what we have gathered information such as time management, study skills, learning skill, times, motivations. I think most of students facing different problems and have different kind of paradigm shift. Some of them maybe have problem with their internet connection. Some of them maybe facing problem with their motivation. Maybe they have all of the internet supplies, all of the devices, but they don't have any motivation to join the online classes. So all I can say, um, with the paradigm shift, I think we undergo many different type of paradigm shift, and students need to help themselves to join their classes, to respond to their teachers, and to make sure they can perform their examinations and all. And I think that's all from me. I hope that answering your questions.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, all the judges and presenters, but I'm afraid the time is up for our question and answer session. We have to proceed with the next school. Okay, so I was about to call the next school, but I don't think they're here yet. I can't see
Really?
them. Yes, maybe they're in the YouTube live. Where are they? Oh, I can't see them. Ani, can you try to have a closer look?
Oh, okay, I can see them too.
Yes, but not both of them. Maybe they're not here yet. Never mind. Ami,
Yes.
did you know that this year's FRSIS, we have participations from the SBPs all over the nation? So a few examples are Sekolah Tengku Kursia, Royal Military College, Sekolah Menengah Berasrama Integrasi Selanda. There are so many schools that join us today. But
Where's
Ami,
our next school?
I think they're here. I want to call them. Ani, are you ready for me to call them? Okay, so
Yes,
welcome.
call them.
So welcome, Sekolah Menengah Sains Gua Musang with their topic COVID-19, changes brought by the pandemic in terms of education. The presenters are Ami Zarfan bin Zulkifli and also Muhammad Fitri Mifzal bin Muhammad Ifan. Stage is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning to honorable judges, teachers, friends and audience. We are representatives from Sekolah Menengah Sains Gomosang for FRSIS 2021. We were assigned with studying the changes brought by the pandemic in terms of education. Our research will be focusing on the pros and cons of online learning. We will display to you the main differences between online and face-to-face learning. We will also display to you the impacts of online learning and some solutions for the problems that comes with it. But before that, let us understand the deeper definition of online learning. According to a study conducted by the West Los Angeles College, online learning can be described as any learning that takes place over the internet. Essentially, it is a type of distance learning in which it takes place across a distance and not in a traditional classroom. Unlike traditional classrooms, online learning uses gadgets as a medium for learning and teaching. So, what are some other differences between online and face to face learning? Let's find out more.
The topic that I will discuss is about comparison between online learning and face-to-face learning. There are 5 things that I'll be focusing on. In the first instance, online learning are predominantly asynchronous. In my point of view, this is the advantages for students and teachers. They'll have more flexible schedule to pursue their education. Moreover, they are able to review the lectures multiple times until they fully understand the content. Next is successful online learners need to have a high commitment. The reason behind that is they need to actively participate in class. They also need to make good notes, study, finish the homework, be motivated, and be productive in their daily life. My next point, we're focusing on diverse communication skills are paramount in online learning. Students need to interact with each other to get a deeper understanding about the content or to see how some concepts are applied. This is different than face-to-face learning, which involves more lecture and dialogue-based learning exercises. Digital literacy and etiquette is a must. Teachers and students need to be comfortable working online. Teachers also need to learn some basic computing programs such as Excel and PowerPoint because they may need to help their students with some basic troubleshoot problems. Last but not least, classroom management. In this case, it is the advantages of face-to-face learning. All activities will run smoothly and it will be easier for students to interact with each other. Teachers can easily track their students' learning, progress, and performance.
As we already noted, COVID-19 has brought a huge impact in the national education system, especially among teachers and students. Throughout this MCO, students and teachers gain more knowledge in technology by exploring various types of application such as Zoom, Google Meet, and Google Classroom for their learning site during this MCO. Furthermore, this pandemic had introduced a new learning pattern, which is via the internet, that helps them to look for reference and information easily. Other than that, students had more time for self-study as they can manage their own times without overlapping with activity held by schools. Besides, online learning provides much calmer environment than face-to-face learning as they can choose their own study paces. This helps them to concentrate on their studies and start off their minds more. Lastly, students can experience a various type of study methods by joining a different study program held by government or non-government societies.
Despite all of this advantage, online learning also brought along many disadvantages. So, my first point is lack of communication skills and confidence. The communication skills among students will be decreasing as they are not socialized with their friends or teacher face to face. Thus, they can exchange ideas and knowledge more freely. Other than that, mental health issues need to be concerned in the society. There's a lot of students that had depression during MCO. A lot of assignments have burdened the students with the deadline. This might affect their health as they don't have enough rest and sleep. Furthermore, the news about the students that died because of stress to finish their assignment have proved that online classes during COVID-19 have been stressing many people and they need to take a break. Besides that, online classes also affected students' time with their self and family. Not only the students, but also the teachers. The schedules are so packed until they don't have time to eat or do anything else at their free time. Lastly, online classes being so difficult to students who can't afford to buy gadgets. For instance, parents who lose their jobs need to find and work hard to buy things that are needed for their child. As well as the internet access also a big problem, especially to students in rural area. Some of them need to climb hill to access the internet and join their classes. So to conclude, online classes had give many hard time either to teacher or students.
We also found some solutions to the problems stemming from online learning. Special courses must be conducted to educate instructors who are not computer literate how to teach online using new technologies and applications that are available. Next, schools should make a variety of internal assessments. Students with great internet connection can take an assessment straight away online. But for those with bad internet connection, a teacher can send them a PDF of the assessment via WhatsApp or other popular applications. A teacher can also print out the assessment and the students can come to school to take it. Moving on, slow internet connection is most often cited as the problem with online learning by those who are living in rural areas. The internet in rural areas must be improved to ensure that home-based learning and teaching, or PDPR, can be conducted smoothly by all teachers and students. Besides that, PTPTN can also provide some financial loan. Some students do not have any electronic device and are sharing with their parents whenever PDPR is conducted. So they need to buy a separate device for the sole purpose of education. Last but not least, teachers should continuously monitor the progress of their students. They should keep track of those who have submitted their assignments to pinpoint those who haven't and ask them to submit it. They should also try to be online as frequently as possible in case some students wants to ask them questions regarding what they have learned. This will all ensure that online learning can be as effective as possible.
For this research, we have distributed inquiries by Google Form to students and teachers through Malaysia. Based on our findings, we can conclude that 84.6% of 104 participants prefer face-to-face learning than online learning. Next, as you can see, half of the participants satisfied with online learning as they can still learn during this pandemic. In addition, most of them, which is 68 people, found that online learning is beneficial for them to gain more information through usage of Google. However, despite this, 68.3% of 104 participants conclude that it's hard to follow the learning development because of internet problems that always occur regularly in Malaysia. To sum up, despite having a lot of challenges during this online learning, most of students still work hard to overcome their hardship and continue their studies in order to pursue their dreams. That's all from us.
Welcome back, judges. Okay, thank you very much,
Fadila?
and welcome back. Okay, so presenters, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we will okay, wait. I don't think there's any question from the audience, but that's okay. We'll just ask the judges. Would any of the judges like to ask any questions or give any comments for our presenters?
All right, I will take this one. First, I would like to applaud the team for being able to produce quite a good research, given the hardships and the obstacles in this so-called new norm. Yeah. All right. Straight to question. Presenters, assuming in the future, some interested parties would like to extend on your current research. Thus, do you have any suggestion to them?
Well, if any interested parties would like to further enhance our research, I would advise them to. I would give them some notes and about where I left off.
Okay. So Fitri, would you like to add anything to what Amir said?
I think if any parties want to like use our notes and all of that stuff, I think we can just like give our notes and all of that thing. I guess I don't know. I don't have any idea.
Okay. So it seems that we have a question from the audience. So anyone that has questions? Okay, there it is. So we have a question from Ilya Maisara. What are the difficulties you faced in your research? Present this.
So for me, I am the one who making the PowerPoint. So the difficulties that I'm facing is time management, of course. Most of the time, I can't finish my homework at time, and for the research, I will always stay up late at night, and sometimes I don't even eat.
Okay, so I can see that you're a bit nervous. It's okay. So Ms. Mohana or Dr. Hazlina, would you like to ask any questions?
Yeah, I would like to ask a question. I mean, wow, if you didn't eat, well, it's like a tough time at that point. But now I'm sure in a few minutes you'll feel very relieved. Okay, good job done to all of you all. Okay, I would like to ask you all a question. Just now you mentioned about assignments and it gives stress to students. Okay, so what is your opinion about homework management during this pandemic?
Well, my opinion on homework management during this pandemic is students, some of them are burdened with problems at home. For example, they have to take care of their little brothers and sisters, so they do not have more time for their studies and homework.
So for
So
me
it can
about
be a challenge for them.
the homework, sometimes students are just not motivated to do their homework, and they don't have the mood to do the homework, and they are always love gaming.
Okay, Dr. Azriza, would you like to add anything?
I'll just ask if that would be the problems. You presented 2 or 3 problems. How do you think would be the best way to solve these kind of problems that you face?
The way I solve my problems when I'm not in my mood, I will listen to music or use Pomodoro technique. Where Pomodoro technique, I will study for 25 minutes and take a break for 5 minutes and do my things.
Okay,
Is that
do
one?
we have yes,
Okay,
something
is
you can
that one?
continue.
What about taking care of your little brothers and sisters? How would you overcome that in order for you to do your homework, or even the
Well,
motivation as well?
I would probably ask help from my parents, and my older sisters. They can sacrifice taking care of the little brothers and sisters for me to pursue my education.
Okay, thank you so much. But we have no more time, so we will proceed our next school. So thank you to all the judges and also congratulations to Sekolah Menengah Sains Bermusang and Khalilah.
Okay,
Oh, I'm sorry, it's my turn. So let's with our last school for today. Is they here? Are they
yes,
here
they
yet?
are here. I can see them.
Okay. So let's welcome Mak Tuat National High School, the Philippines, with their topic, The New Normal, Challenges in Modular Distance Learning Amidst COVID-19. And I would like to welcome the presenters, Jasuri Tisabenel and Bibi Jane Bihapgano. You may start.
Greetings to our research advisor, Ms. Janine Panagsagan, to the panelists, participants, and to the organizers of this event. I am Jasri Tisbanal from Magduod National High School, Philippines, and I would like to give you all a lesson today. We will be presenting our study entitled The New Normal Education, Challenges in Modular Distance Learning Amidst COVID-19 Pandemic. Together with my group mates, Ms. Baby Jane Hipgano, Ms. Sheena Abigail Hipga, and Mr. Christian Mahidlawan. For the introduction and background of the study, here is Ms. Sheena Abigail Hipgano.
Thank you, Mr. Sabanal. I am Sheena Abigail Hipgano for the introduction and background of the study. COVID-19 posed a global threat that affects various sectors, including education. It led the educational institution to suspend classes as a response of the government to stop the infection in the school. Despite the closure order, classes continued to take place. Having the same thought in mind, the Philippine Department of Education, or DepEd, implemented learning continuity program in the form of distance learning. As the Philippines adopts to the new normal education through implementing various distance learning modalities, many learners still find it difficult to access and adjust to remote learning. This research will discuss the experiences of the teachers, students, and parents after they have undergone modular distance learning. This study aims to identify the challenges and coping strategies of teachers, students, and parents and suggest possible ways to improve the implementation of modular distance learning in order to provide better learning experiences amidst the pandemic. For the statement of the problem and methodology, here is Mr. Christian Mahidlawan.
Thank you, Ms. Hipgano, for presenting the introduction and background of the study. I am Christian Mahidlawan, and let us now proceed to the statement of the problem. Learners must continue learning and remain protected from COVID-19. As modular distance learning continues to repeat, inevitably teachers, students, and parents experience difficulties and problems that may hinder learning process. Specifically, these studies seek to answer the following questions. What challenges do teachers, students, and parents encounter in modular distance learning? How do teachers, students, and parents cope up with the challenges encountered in modular distance learning? What are the insights of teachers, students, and parents to further improve the implementation of modular distance learning? For the methodology, this study is qualitative in nature, which specifically use the case study research. The researchers interviewed a total of 15 participants from Magduod National High School who were chosen for purposive sampling. Researchers made an open-ended interview questions that were validated by the panel of experts. In the conduct of this study, participants were asked to sign a consent form if they agreed to participate, and other ethical considerations were discussed. The participants were requested to take part in an individual interview or focus group discussion, virtually or face-to-face, for approximately 60 minutes depending on the availability of the participants. It was assured that safety and health protocols were observed. The responses were then recorded by the observer. The data were transcribed and translated and have undergone method triangulation and thematic analysis to identify the common themes as basis for the discussion. This time, Ms. Bibi Jane will present the results and discussion of the study.
Thank you, Mr. Mahidlawan, and I am Ms. Baby Jane Liangana, and I will talk about the result and discussion of our study. The participants were asked on what are the challenges that they have encountered in modular distance learning. Based on the commonalities drawn from the data collection presented in Figure 1, the following main theme challenges are encountered by teachers, students, and parents. Teachers' difficulty in getting in touch with both learner and parents, and late claiming of submission of modules and are said to be interconnected as discussed on the study conducted by Alcala 2021. This reflects the underlying factors such as unavailability of parents due to work and financial constraints. Most students struggle with independent learning, and parents also claim that they're not academically knowledgeable to teach their children. Students also have difficulty in accessing the internet and search for additional learning resources and spend less time in answering their module due to household work, which then result to academic dishonesty and lack of commitment to submit assessment congruent to the result of study of Guangol et al. 2020, on which teachers are not sure whether the students are the ones who do the activities. When asked about how they were able to cope up with the challenges that they have encountered, the participants were able to arrive on the result found in Figure 2, which shows the final thematic map of the main theme emerged from the interview. On the relevance to the account of the participants, a study conducted by Alcala and Castroverde 2021 support that teachers need to formulate alternative plans on the different issues that may arise. Scheduling and providing sufficient materials for module production avoids delay in module distribution. Teachers monitors and give feedback to let the students know the status of their learning and provide appropriate learning intervention. Bustamante et al. 2021 also claimed that students were able to cope up with the struggles they have encountered in this new normal education through managing their time and seeking support. Parents keep an open communication with the teachers to guide them in assisting their children at home, supported by the result of the study conducted by Olivo 2021. At this juncture, Mr. Jasri Sabanal will continue the discussion and present the conclusion and the recommendation.
Thank you, Ms. Edgano. I am Mr. Jasri Sabanal, and I will now continue the results and discussion. The main outcome of this research is to gather insights from the participants on the ways to further improve school operation while implementing modular distance learning or MDL amidst the pandemic. The accounts of the participants suggest to review and modify module content, reorganize method of module production and delivery, and strengthen collaboration with internal and external stakeholders. Thereby, it guarantees that the school will be able to meet the learners' needs by offering additional academic resources and providing timely and constructive feedback regardless of the pandemic, and lessen the barrier which may hinder learning. Based on the study, teachers, students, and parents encounter different challenges in the implementation of modular distance learning. The main challenge that emerged were teachers struggling with communication barriers, delayed distribution and output retrieval, validation of students' actual performance, students' poor study habits and time management, weak to no internet connection, defective module, and parents' lack of knowledge, financial constraint, and conflicting schedule. Coping mechanisms were applied, such as scheduling module production, monitoring, providing feedback to learning interventions, students using other learning resources, seeking guidance/assistance, and setting priorities, and parents collaborating with the teachers, and providing parental support to the learners. Based on the conclusions mentioned earlier, the research came up with the following recommendations. School administrators should strategically plan the system of module distribution and retrieval, lessening the risk and prioritizing the safety of everyone from the effects of COVID-19. Teachers provide lessons and other intervention to help struggling students cope up with the demands of distance learning in the new normal. Conduct webinar for parents to guide them on how they can help their child learn at home and other stakeholders to assess and contribute to students' learning outcome. The researchers also recommend that further studies on the current situation of teachers, students, and parents in the implementation of new normal education be conducted. This wraps our presentation for our research study entitled The New Normal Education, Challenges in Modular Distance Learning Amidst COVID-19 Pandemic. Thank you for listening.
Tara na guys. Okay.
Okay, that was definitely interesting. Thank you so much. So, welcome back, judges. So, presenters, are you ready for the question and answer session?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, any inquiries would be come for our presenters? Okay, we have one from Janine. What challenges have you encountered during the conduct of your study?
So I
Presenters,
would
can we
like to
have your
answer that
response?
question. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
first of all, so I would first of all greet you all a pleasant day. Assalamualaikum Malaysia. Magandang umaga from the Philippines. Now, going back to your question, what are the challenges we have encountered during the conduct of our study? Is that first, it is hard for us to reach out for potential participants, especially that now, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, some are not allowed to go out. Aside from that, is that for other sectors, they have a lot to do. They are busy, especially for the parent sectors. They have work to do and household chores to do. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much for that explanation. So, do we have any more? Okay, so we have one from Faradina. Do you think it is important to spread awareness about this issue and why?
Okay, so I would like to answer that question again. So it is important to spread awareness about this issue. It is because it is our first time to experience a global health crisis due to the rapid widespread of the coronavirus disease or COVID-19 disease. So a lot of actually all the countries in the world are still adjusting to the new normal education, and that there are still here in the Philippines there are still a lot of students who struggle to manage their time and their studies. So yeah, it is really important, and for also to come up with solutions and possible ways on how we can improve the learning amidst the pandemic. So yes, that's it. Thank you.
That was a very informative answer. Thank you. Okay, so we have any question or comments from the judges?
Yes, one question. Was there any particular reason why you chose to have a qualitative research instead of a quantitative or perhaps a mix of both?
I beg your pardon. Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Was there any particular reason why you chose to have a qualitative research instead of a quantitative research or perhaps a mix of both?
So I'd like to answer the question. Maayong buntag Pilipinas. Good morning, everyone. So we use qualitative research studies. It collects data in natural setting, inquiry into the meaning of human problems, Crosswell 2011.
Are you okay? Okay, seems that we're done. So thank you to all the judges and also well done, Maktuk National High School for clearing the air today.
Okay, so thank you very much, all the schools that have presented today. So, with that, we wrap up our first session for the day. And thank you to all the judges. We appreciate taking time off from your busy schedules to join us today. And also the presenters, the teachers, and everyone else present. So we will continue our session at 10:30, And before we adjourn, I would like to remind all that we have an online quiz in the chat box. So let's watch this video first so you can all understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so stay tuned everyone, because after this we actually have a treat for you, because we have a cultural performance that will comprise from the performances from 7 participating countries. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the unique presentations. Oh, I'm very sorry because the technical glitches we have just now of the video, but never mind. We already told you before. You can just answer the questions 80% correctly, and you will have an international level e-certificate. Okay, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy, as I've said just now. So that's all for now. I wish you all a very good day, and goodbye.
Today we are going to preview some amazing Thai cultures in our school. So let's move on to the first one. Is the Thai boxing, or we call it Muay Thai in Thai language. So in our school we have physical education lessons that teach us about Muay Thai. The main purpose of the lessons is to teach us how to protect ourselves using Muay Thai moves such as kicking, punching, and elbowing, and to learn some move sets called Wai Kru, which are the moves used in a famous ceremony for showing respect to Muay Thai teachers. And this it is another pictures about the Muay Thai performance in our school.
Next, we're going to talk about the Loi Krathong Festival in Emirates. Because in our school, we also have some interesting cultural events in Loi Krathong Festival during November. In this festival, many students in our school would wear traditional Thai clothes, and of course, there would be a lot of krathongs. As you can see in these pictures, the thing that the students are holding is what we call krathongs in Thai. Krathongs are the decorated slices of banana tree trunks with some fatter leaves and candles. In Thai beliefs, we would later float the krathong in the body of water in order to thank the goddess of water, which we call Pama Kongka in Thai. And furthermore, we also have various range of delicacies and live music. played by students and teachers in this festival too.
And another cultural performance in Mvit, Thai dance or Lam Thai in Thai language, is a combination of graceful body movements in Thai traditional music like หญิงไทยใจงามดวงจันทร์ขวัญฟ้า Dancers also wear elaborate Thai silk costumes with colorful art and patterns. Thai dance performed by a group of people dancing in a circle path is called Rambong. Authentic Thai dance is taught for grade 10 students. After the lesson, students will perform it in the Mvit open house, like in the photo. And you can see me in green shirt. This picture from Mvit Memory and Mvit Media. Thank you.
एहसास थोड़ा तो जगाए अपने दिलों में सिंदूरी गालों वाला सूरज जो करे ठिठोली क्या नाम है अपना जहां में खड़े हैं कहां पे हम शर्मीले थे तो को ढकने चूनर पीली पीली घूंघट में रंग पनघट में रंग चम चम चमकीला वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम सारे जहां के अच्छा एहसास थोड़ा तो जगाए अपने दिलों में क्या नाम है अपना जहां में खड़े हैं कहां पे हमें जाना कहां चले हैं कहां पे हमसे पूछे ये माफी कठिन
कि घर कब आओगे कि घर कब आओगे लिखो कब आओगे कि तुम बिन ये दिल सुना सुना है कुछ करिए नस नस मेरी खोले हाय कुछ करिए बस बस बड़ा बोले अब कुछ करिए
तेरा नाम है साचा मुझ मेरी आने पाचा बदनाम तेरा माँ हो एक पहचान मेरी तू ही जिद जान मेरी तू ही जहान मेरा माँ सारे जहां के अच्छा
Hello everyone, welcome to our Turkish culture presentation today. And as you can guess from our title, we would like to make you informed about the Turkish culture today. So, who are we? Let me introduce myself. I am Elif Nur Sorkun, and my other presentation partners are İbrahim Bayhan, Özgür Ozan Güray, Emir Emiroğlu, Merve Dilsizoğlu, and Zeynep Erdoğan. Also, we have two esteemed teachers who are called Ayşe Şule Kılınç and Öznur Özcü. So, as we said, today we are going to make you informed about our Turkish culture more by giving some details, stories, and myths. So, let's get started.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ibrahim Bayhan, and I'll firstly introduce our school before giving information about our country's culture. So I'm going to talk about our school and its atmosphere a bit. Firstly, Beşiktaş Sakıp Sabancı Anatolian High School is an international IB school which is located in Beşiktaş in Istanbul. We feel lucky for this because Beşiktaş is one of the best neighborhoods in Istanbul. Furthermore, our school's education is for 5 years because we have English preparation classes as well, and all of us are 9th graders here. What is more, we have so many different clubs in our school, and we believe they are really important for school atmosphere.
Hello everyone, I am Merve. You can see the Turkish national anthem. It's İstiklal Marşı, which means Independence March. It was written by Mehmet Akif Ersoy, and I would like to quote something from our anthem. Who would not sacrifice their life for this paradise of a country? We see that it represents the difficulties, the efforts, and loyalty during the Turkish War of Independence. Even just by reading, we feel like we were there because it is deeply touching. Here is the map of Turkey. As you can see, we have a lot of regions and everything changes city to city. For example, climate, food, traditions, the way of people think. The person you see in the picture is Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the founder of the Turkish Republic. We owe him a lot. Because of him, we gained our independence. And Atatürk means a lot to the Turkish people. He led our people during the war. If he hadn't tried so hard, we wouldn't have gotten our freedom.
Hello everybody, my name is Özgür Ozan, and I would like to give some information about Maiden's Tower. Well, Maiden's Tower has an ancient history. According to the studies, Maiden's Tower was made by Alcibiades in order to control the ships and in order to defend the area against enemies. Maiden's Tower has rebuilt a lot throughout history, and Maiden's Tower is really famous at the moment. It is still visited by many people today.
Hello, I'm Zeynep Erdoğan, and I'm going to tell you the romantic story of Galata Tower, which is located in the Beyoğlu district of Istanbul. According to the myth, Galata Tower and Maiden's Tower are in love with each other, but the Bosphorus between them prevents lovers from meeting. Galata Tower writes its love in letters for years. When the Turkish scholar Hüdaven Ahmet Çelebi, who was the first to fly in the world, went there to realize his dream of flying, the Galata Tower whispers its love for the Maiden's Tower in his ear and gives the letters to him. His Arfan delivers the letters to the Maiden's Tower, realizing that its love is not platonic. Maiden's Tower leaps for joy. These two lovers' deep feelings for each other helped them to challenge the centuries and create the most beautiful view of Istanbul.
So, let's talk about some food, shall we? Sultan's Delight. What's the story behind this Turkish well-known food? In 1867, the third Napoleon and his wife, Empress Eugene, were hosting the Ottoman Emperor Sultan Abdulaziz, whom they invited for an international exhibition in Paris. It was here that Sultan Abdulaziz first met Eugene. 2 years after this encounter, Abdulaziz still could not forget Eugene, and Eugene could not forget him. But Empress Eugene was also invited to the opening of the Suez Canal that year. On her way to Egypt by ship, she stopped by Abdulaziz in Constantinople. History says that Eugene and Sultan Abdulaziz spent that night together, alone. The two lovers had met in Constantinople at the end of 2-year adventure. However, the story did not have a happy ending. The faces of the lovers did not smile again. Abdulaziz was deposed and killed. Napoleon III was exiled with his wife Eugene. The love story did not end there, and the recipe is left for us a memory. We are talking about Sultan's life. Yes, the Sultan in this meal is Sultan Abdulaziz himself. Rumor is that when Empress Eugene came to Istanbul, she brought her cook with her. While her cook was preparing bechamel sauce in kitchen, he caught the attention of the Ottoman cook. And the Ottoman cook did an experiment by adding roasted eggplant to the bechamel sauce. He added the meat that the emperor loved throughout history and presented it to the Sultan. Since the Sultan loved the food very much, the name of the dish became Sultan's life.
And I'm going to present you Turkish cuisine's one of stars, höşmerim. And I'm going to talk about the story behind this delight. And according to the rumor, the man of the house who goes to the military returns home with peace and joy after doing his military service for many years. Mrs. Fadime is very happy to see her life partner, whom she loves more than her life, in front of her. She decides to set a table for her valiant, but there is no food ready to serve at home. While thinking about what to do, she catches her eye on the fresh cheese hanging in the strainer. Mrs. Fadime decides to prepare something from cheese. She starts to cook the fresh cheese on a low flame. She cooks it by adding egg yolk, sugar, and semolina flour. Mrs. Fadime looks at the pot. It smells good, and the bowl looks good too. She's happy with what she has done. Will the valiant like the meal? She presents her meal to her valiant, and after waiting for him to eat a little, she says curiously, "Hoş mu erim?" Which means in English, "Is it good, my valiant?" she asks, and her husband appreciates Mrs. Fadime by saying, "Hoş, hoş," in English, "good, good," happily. This famous dessert of Balıkesir is called höşmerim when it is told from mouth to mouth, from ear to ear.
After this narration, we would like to end our presentation for today. And thanks for listening and thanks for your attention. And here you can see our names again. Also, if you would like to learn more about us and our school, you can check the Instagram and the name is written here. Again, thank you for listening and see you in the symposium. Bye.
So, did you all enjoy the performance? I certainly did. It's amazing how you can always learn new and interesting things about other countries, no matter how much you think you already know. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning to all the judges, teachers, guests and participants for this year Fully Residential Schools International Symposium. So welcome back for our audience from before. I'm sorry for our new viewers that missed the first session, but no worries, you can still learn as much, if not more, in this session. We are beyond thrilled to continue with our second session for the day.
So, do you want your chance to have your own international level e-certificate? Well, it's easy. Just make sure to keep an eye out in the chat box and answer all the questions at least 80% correctly. And well, that's how you do it. Okay, so as planned for today, we have 15 teams that are going to present for us overall. However, for our second session, we are only going to hear from the next 5 teams.
For those of you who don't already know, I would like to reintroduce our esteemed judges for today. Our chief judge, Associate Professor Dr. Haliza Harun. Dr. Haliza Harun is a senior lecturer from University Science Islam Malaysia. Next, our second judge, Miss Raja Muhana Anak Putra Raja Gopal from College Islam Sultan Alam Shah. And lastly, our third judge, Mr. Amzari Rafhan Muhammad Ramli from Sekolah Menengah Agama Persekutuan Bentong. Hi everyone and welcome back. My name is... Let's continue. Hi everyone. My name is Nur Auni Nazura binti Muhammad Nazri and my partner is Putri Idina Khalilah binti Muhammad Fuad. We are your moderators for today and we are from Sekolah Seri Puteri. Now, do allow me to remind you of the rules. First, each team should consist of presenters and a technical assistant. Second, the presentation must focus on the sub-theme COVID-19, a paradigm shift in teaching and learning. Third, the duration of the presentation should not be more than 10 minutes. And lastly, a question and answer session will be conducted at the end of the presentation.
So, to get the ball rolling, our first team is Sekolah Menengah Sains Kepala Batas with their topic COVID-19, a paradigm shift in teaching and learning. The presenters are Muhammad Izzul bin Cik Noh and also Muhammad Anik Ashraf bin Muhammad Azwan. Please welcome.
My name is Nur Ibrahim Hamzah. I'm from Team CPS, which is Sekolah Menengah Sains Kepala Batas team, along with my teammates, Masturina Izzati binti Muhammad Johari, Muhammad Izzul bin Cik Noh, and Muhammad Anik Ashraf bin Muhammad Azwan. The four of us were guided by our supervising teacher, which is Mr. Muhammad Faris Hafizi. Without wasting any time, I will proceed with our presentation. The sub-theme that was given to us is COVID-19, a paradigm shift in teaching and learning. As we can see here, we have chosen COVID-19 Innovates Education as our title. Now, I will explain the definition for each word in our title. COVID-19 is a short form for coronavirus disease. It is a virus that was found in 2019 somewhere in Wuhan, China, and it causes respiratory tract infection that can range from mild to lethal. Meanwhile, innovates means make changes in something established, especially by introducing new methods, ideas, or products. Next is education. It means the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially at a school or university. Now, how jeopardous is COVID-19? Well, it can spread through air, water, and touch. It also spread from a person to another by contact only within 1 meter, and it makes patient breathing become tough and loss of taste or smell. Lastly, patients will face fever, dry cough, aches and pain, headache, and many more. So, to avoid from being infected by COVID-19, especially when in public, we must follow the standard operating procedure SOP. First, we must always keep a distance of 1 meter and stay away from confined places. Please wear two face masks in public places and cover your mouth and nose every time you sneeze or cough. And lastly, please use hand sanitizer regularly.
Next, look at the result. On one side, now look at the question of percent of students with online learning affect their grade by 17.3% of students say online learning did not affect their grade. Now we look at the second question. Do you have enough facilities for your online learning? 73.1% of students say they have enough facilities for their online learning, while 26.9% of students say they do not have enough facilities for their online learning. Next, question 3. Do you have enough data with internet for online classes? 79.8% of students say they have enough data for online classes, while 20.2% of students say they do not have enough data for their online learning. Next, question 4. Do you prefer face-to-face learning or online classes? 70.2% of students said they prefer face-to-face learning over online learning, while 29.8% of students said they prefer online learning rather than face-to-face learning. Next, we move to question 5. Do you think online learning has its advantages? 81.7% of students think online learning has its advantages, while 18.3% of students think online learning has no advantages. Next, question 6. Do you find it hard to do group work during online classes? 69.4% of students find it hard to do group work during online classes, while 34.9% of students do not find it hard to do group work during online classes. Next, question 7. Do teachers give full commitment during online classes? 88.5% of students say teachers give full commitment during online classes, while 11.5% of students say teachers do not give full commitment during online classes. Next, we move to question 8. Is the homework given too much for your online learning? 74% of students said the homework given too much for their online learning, while 26% of students said the homework given not too much for their online learning. Next, question 9. Do online classes give you pressure? 77.1% of students said online classes give them pressure, while 22.9% of students said online classes do not give them pressure. Lastly, we look at the last question. Are your parents concerned regarding your mental health and study? 66.7% of students said their parents were concerned regarding their mental health and study, while 33.3% of students said their parents weren't concerned regarding their mental health and study.
Now, I will proceed with the surveys of the teachers. The number of respondents for the survey is 35. For the first question, are the interactions between teachers and students better during online learning? As we can see here, 60% of the respondents said yes, while the other 40% said no. For the second question, did the assignments assigned were handed in on time? 37.1% said yes, while the other 62.9% said no. For the third question, do you think online learning gives any advantages for you? It seems that 77.1% said yes, while 22.9% said no. The fourth question, do you think giving homework helps students to enjoy online classes? 74.3% said yes, while 35.7% said no. For the last question, have you ever given homework or assignments to your students out of PDPR schedule? 71.4% said yes, while the other 28.6% said no.
Now, we move on to the new slide, which is case study. We have interviewed several students to determine a specific group of the students. So now we can see some samples of the interview that we have done in the slide. Before I proceed to the explanation to this slide, I want to share you some questions that have been answered by the student involved. First, students need to assess the frequency of their attendance to attend online class. Then they need to give a reason. After that, the student must give their opinion about online learning. Okay, now we move on to student number 1. He rate his attendance frequency is only 5/10. He said that he is having difficulty to focus in online classes. For student number 2, he rate 7/10 because he feel less stress using online learning method. Then, student number 3 said that he enjoy online learning, and that's why we can see he give 9/10 for his attendance frequency. So now we can see that we have three group of students, while in online class. Firstly, student who has various technical problems to attend online classes, such as internet problems, lack of device, and so on. Second, student who regularly to attend online class, but at times do not. Third, a student who always attend classes and has no problem doing online classes. And for conclusion, Eric Hoffer has said, in time of change, learners inherit the earth, where they learn, find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. So, thank you from our group, our team. Cheers and bye. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm very sorry for the technical glitch just now, but no, it's understandable because of the COVID and all, and especially we're doing all this virtually. Okay, so welcome back, judges. So I hope you're ready because now we're going to proceed with our question and answer session. So do we have a question from the audience? You can just type them in the chat box. Wait, I don't think so. But will the judges ask any questions or give any comments for our presenters?
May I ask a question?
I have a question.
Oh,
I'll
it's
start
okay,
off
Doctor.
first,
Go
all
ahead.
right? Oh, all right. Okay. Okay.
Go ahead, Doctor.
So how do you think how do you think your findings can help your school to further strengthen their strategy in implementing online learning in the near future?
Can you repeat?
How can your findings, all right, from this research help your school to further strengthen their online learning strategy in your school?
I think from our finding, teachers and students needs to improve from their internet, from device, to make sure that online learning can get smooth.
It's okay, no need to be nervous. Okay, Dr.
Okay.
Aliza, would you like to say anything else?
No.
Okay, Miss Moana, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, this is like you were talking about the advantages of online learning and also the survey results. So what do you think? I mean, personally, what do you think about face-to-face learning? Would you prefer face-to-face learning or would you prefer online classes?
For me, I prefer face-to-face learning because we have the vibe to learning. But online learning also have own advantages such as students can study every time. Like they can use YouTube to do a revision to subject that they not they not focus in the online class. So both have their advantages. So for me, I prefer face-to-face learning.
Okay, thank you very much. Both answers are very valid. So I think we have a question from the audience now. Okay, there it is. From user Faradina Azhar. As students are experiencing mental health issues, how do you propose to help the burnout students within the kindergartners since they are still so young? So presenters, would you like to address the question?
Their parents can help the students to face the mental issues. So the support from parent can help the students to face the mental issues. Besides that, the student also can can go to the ni can go to the counselor. They can have
You can have a session to make sure their mental is okay. Is
Yes.
get back to relevant. Their mental get to the what we say same level as a normal person.
Okay, thank you very much. That is a very good explanation from both of you. Okay, so I think time is
I'm sorry
up.
to interrupt, but we have no more time. Sorry, Khalil. Okay, we can continue.
Okay, so I'm afraid the time is up because we have to proceed with our next school. So thank you very much, all the judges, and also Sekolah Menengah Sains Kepala Batas. Auni, would you like to proceed with the next school? Wait, I'm sorry. I think Auni is stuck. Are you okay, Auni? Okay, never mind. I think there is a bit of technical problems, but it's okay because in this day and age we are bound to have some glitches. Oh, there you are. Hi.
I'm sorry, have a technical problem with. It's okay. Let's continue with our second school. I joyfully invite the next presentation from Sekolah Seri Puteri with their topic, Online Learning Another Hurdle for Disabled Students. Please welcome Ilya Maisarah binti Hafizuddin and Siti Nur Azmina binti Muhammad Hisham. You have the stage.
The COVID-19 pandemic is arguably the most defining moment of this decade, perhaps even of this century. The advent of a highly contagious airborne virus required us to isolate ourselves and minimize physical contact. Malaysia has been under fluctuating states of lockdown, including the current movement control order 3.0. Since May of this year, schools shut down once more, and both teachers and students alike quickly grew accustomed to having classes online from the comfort of their own homes. However, in this rapidly changing learning environment, whereas certain individuals were able to keep up with the paradigm shift, a particular subset of students were neglected, disabled students.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day I bid to everyone present. My name is Amira Safia Rustam and I am accompanied by
Ilya Maisara Hafizuddin,
Siti Nur Azmina Muhammad Hisham,
and me, Hasha Mara binti Kamal Bahrain. Under the supervision of Ms. Azmi Zamino, we, in Sekolah Seri Puteri, are here to unveil our presentation entitled Online Learning, Another Hurdle for Disabled Students. In line with our sub-theme, COVID-19, Paradigm Shift in Teaching and Learning on the fourth Sustainable Development Goal, Education. Before we continue with our presentation, what exactly is a paradigm shift? The term paradigm shift was first coined by Thomas Kuhn in 1962 in the context of scientific revolutions. This phrase has now evolved to mean an important change that happens when the usual way of thinking about or doing something is replaced by a new and different way. The very paradigm shift we wish to talk about is social distancing measures in schools, desks in classroom space meters apart, and when daily cases hit record high figures, the total closure of schools nationwide. Here you go, Hasha.
Thanks a lot, Safia. So, what is the context of this study?
According to the Ministry of Education, there were 2,458 different able students attending special education schools in Malaysia, with over 61,480 students with special education needs enrolled in the Special Education Integration Program in 2018. In the context of online learning, students with special needs in Malaysia are generally divided into three categories, as cited from the official government website. Firstly, visually impaired students who have low vision or are blind in one or both eyes. Second is hearing impaired students who are unable to hear clearly in both ears or are unable to hear at all. And lastly are students with learning disabilities with intellectual capabilities that do not conform with biological age. This includes conditions like Down syndrome, autism spectrum disorder, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, to name a few. Additionally, students with multiple disabilities cannot be limited to a single category are also included in this discussion. The problem that we have identified is that due to the isolated nature of online learning, disabled students face many difficulties ranging from lack of supervision to the absence of suitable learning materials that will allow them to understand what is being taught. Our research objectives today are simple. Number one is to find out difficulties faced by disabled students during online learning, and secondly is to find solutions on how to help disabled students overcome said difficulties. The methodology used is a mixed methods approach that is both quantitative and qualitative in nature. We conducted interviews with one parent and 3 teachers of disabled students, as well as survey questionnaires involving 14 teachers.
Here you go, Mina.
Whoa! Thanks, Hasha. So, what exactly did we find in our research? Well, let's take a look. When asked to rate the understanding of their students on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being fairly poor and 5 being fairly good, teachers generally ranked in-person learning as more effective than online learning. Out of the teachers surveyed, the majority agreed that students have difficulty paying attention in class, cannot understand what is being taught, or even do not attend class at all. All of these can be attributed to the lack of supervision at home, as opposed to a school environment, where a teacher can watch over them personally. For students with conditions like ADHD, for example, Online learning has proved to be difficult because of their constitution, which causes them to have trouble sitting still for extended periods of time. This is even more apparent in a situation where they must sit and face their computer screens for hours on end. Alternatively, another contributing factor to low attendance rates is the lack of gadgets such as laptops and tablets, and/or stable internet connection to join class, as many of these disabled students are found to be from relatively low-income households. Additionally, many teachers cited the lack of hands-on practical experiences that are indispensable to students with special education needs as a reason why online learning was found to be less effective in comparison to in-person learning. For example, a teacher of hearing-impaired students remarked that synchronous online classes were ineffective for her pupils as they had to divert their attention between her signing and the images being displayed. In light of this, she switched to a less conventional way of teaching. Pre-recorded videos of specific topics that students could constantly replay instead of scrambling to keep up. Here you go, Ilya.
Ouch! Thanks, Mina. So the problems that Mina identified sound very severe. Are there any recommendations on ways to help?
Disabled students may require assistance from their parents, even in seemingly trivial tasks. For example, a student with Down syndrome may feel unmotivated to wake up for class on time. A student with hearing impairment may face difficulties in completing their homework. And a student who is partially blind may feel challenged to access online learning platforms. It is up to parents to aid their children in their education, as they are the ones who know them the best, and they are the ones who are most capable of helping them. Students all across Malaysia are affected by poor internet connection that is disruptive to learning and has even forced students to climb up trees in order to sit for their examinations. This impacts disabled students even more severely, as they are found to be from rural areas with weak internet connectivity. Fortunately, the government is working to improve internet accessibility under the Jendela Plan, which is aimed towards connecting the entire nation virtually. The creation of KPM e-textbook reader, an application with digital textbooks for both teachers and students, is appreciated. However, upon further investigation, it is found that the only way to access the special education versions of textbooks is through convoluted websites. Thus, we suggest that the Ministry of Education compile a more comprehensive collection of digital textbooks, including the versions for students with learning disabilities, as well as ensure that these textbooks are screen reader friendly.
To end, we would like to stress the importance of providing education that is not only high quality but accessible to every student. Education is a universal basic right that can increase the quality of life of individuals and, as an effect, their happiness too.
It is only fair that everyone, no matter their ability, be able to partake in it. In the words of former Minister of Education Dr. Mazli bin Malik, education is not an end itself. It is the way forward in facilitating learning and attainment of values, knowledge, skills, beliefs, and habits. Thank you, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah.
What an interesting presentation. Thank you, presenters. So, welcome back, judges. So, presenters, are you ready for the question and answer session?
Of course.
Okay. So, any inquiries would be welcome for our presenters. Okay, so we have one from Lily Hadins. So why did you choose to research this topic? Can the
Okay, so
presenters
thank you for
kindly
that.
answer the question? Okay, continue.
Sorry. Okay, so thank you for that question. So, personally, this topic was something quite important to us because many of us have relatives who have disabilities and they are students too. For example, I have a cousin who has late global development syndrome and she is going to take SPM this year. And so far, all of her preparations has only been able to succeed with the help of her mother studying alongside her. And this is something that was very important to me, and we wanted to look into how they adapted in with online learning.
Okay, thank you for that brilliant explanation. Next, do you have any question from the audience? Okay, so we have from Amira Sarah, and the question is, why do you think it is important for disabled students to get proper study?
I can take this question. Thank you, Amira Sarah, for that question. So, as we all know, education is very important for someone to not only have a better future, but also to get better jobs and such for their future. And so we believe it is important because disabled students deserve a chance at a successful future just as much as their able-bodied peers. And we believe that by getting proper education that is not only accessible but also quality, they might be able to get a chance at that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mina. So would the judges be so kind to ask any question?
Yeah, can I ask one question? Yeah. What is one piece of practical advice you would give to someone starting a research?
Okay, so that is something that is a very interesting question. So I will answer that by saying, well, firstly, you need to look for a topic that you're particularly interested in. I think it is important that you are passionate about what you're researching about, and then you'll have an interest to go in deeper into that subject. And this is what happened with our own research project for FRSIS.
Okay, thank you, Ilya. Do you have any question or comments more from the judges?
Yes, I have one. Talking about research, a phrase often mentioned is there is a room for improvement. So, if you people were given a chance to make an improvement to your research, what would it be?
Oh, okay, I'll take this question. So we think one of the lacking things in our research is that when the subjects of our interviews, we had, because it was done through online means, and we could only contact teachers of disabled students, for example. We think it would have been more impactful if we were able to contact disabled students and even face to face somehow, even though the circumstances may not allow us to, because we would have been able to learn from first-hand experiences. But we did get one interview from the cousin I mentioned earlier about her experience online learning.
Okay, thank you, Ilya. Dr. Hadiza, do you have any comments?
All right, thank you very much. The answers were given quite adequate enough. Just one question from me. What would you suggest? All right, the area that any other parties, right, or students are interested to actually explore regarding this disabled learning via online. You get my question?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question, please?
What would be the area, or can you suggest further, what do you call, the extension of the study, of your study? How would you suggest, or which area to be explored regarding the disabled and also online learning?
We believe that it is imperative to not only reach out towards these disabled students, but also getting to know them and also the problems that they face more in depth rather than just trying to help them barely scratching the surface level. And we can do that by helping the communities that they're in. As we have stated in our video, many of them come from relatively low-income families, and though we do have to help them, we also need to help the families that they are a part of.
Okay, I think time is up. Okay, thank you very much, all the judges and also the presenters. At the risk of sounding very biased, I'm actually very proud to have you all representing our school. Okay, so thank you again, all the judges and also Sekolah Seri Puteri. We will now proceed with the next school. Okay, so welcome the next school, which is Sekolah Menengah Sains Dungun with our topic No Conventional Future List. Wait, I don't think they're here yet. Never mind.
Really?
Yes. Wait. Oh, I can see them now. It's okay. So, let me I'm very sorry. Okay, so welcome Sekolah Menengah Sains Dungun with their topic No Conventional Future List. And the presenters are Nur Kamilah Aina binti Muhammad Kamal and also Nur Alia binti Ismail.
Drop it.
Hello, my name is Nur Alia binti Ismail from Sekolah Menengah Sains Dungun, and my hope is that our research can provide a better environment in an online class.
Hi, I am Nur Kamila Aina binti Muhammad Kamal. I hope this research will give a lot of knowledges and new information about the paradigm shift in education.
Hi, my name is Tuan Muhammad Arfan bin Tuan Arshad from SM Science Dungun. I hope our research can help students in education.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Waizuddin Bini from SM Science Dungun, and I hope our project can be acceptable by education purpose.
First and foremost, we will go through the introduction. No conventional future list is a research made to identify the effectiveness of online learning, specifically in social issues, as the paradigm of teaching and learning has been shifted due to the spread of COVID-19. In our research, we will find out what is the most problems and obstacles that students are facing, and we will try our best to provide the best solution so that students can enjoy the environment of online classes. In students' mindset nowadays, they are not be able to pursue their study, as they can't even sit in their exam peacefully without any hesitation. Furthermore, some of the students are able to sit in their examination with an open book even though it is not an open book test. There are three ways in conducting our research. The first one will provide questions in Google Form or Microsoft Suite. The questions will consist about opinion, feelings, and schedules. They are all simple questions. Next, we will call students that have the lowest marks, and we will ask them further questions, such as what can we do to provide an effective online classes. And lastly, we will call some of the teachers to ask how do they conduct their classes and how do students respond in their classes. I will pass the presentation to Nur Kamila Aina.
The results that we got are 70% of students that answered the Google Forms questions are droning in education problems. One of the questions is, can you focus in your classes? If you can't, why? Most of them answered that they barely focus in their classes because of their own responsibilities and distractions. So, we decided to call one of the 70% students, and he said that he don't know how to manage his schedule, didn't understand the explanation that given by teachers, and lost motivation. He also said that he might fail in his education according to how he couldn't afford this new lifestyle. Furthermore, we also decided to call one of the 30% students that has a good result based on the questions in the Google form. She said that she managed to arrange her schedule even she has a lot of responsibilities. She always asks her teachers and her friends what's the problems that she has. She also do revision after the classes and motivates herself. So, these sub-themes is not just about learning. It's also concluded the teaching's way. So, we had called 5 teachers. They say that students didn't respond to their questions and didn't submit their tasks and homework. There are just 1 to 5 students that are very active. They submit their tasks on time and ask questions. Two-way communications is disappearing in this online class learning system. We also had found out one of the problems is the platform that had been used, such as Google Meets and Zoom, consume a lot of data. This affects the students and the teachers. Sometimes, either students can attend their classes or teachers can do their classes because of the unstable internet connection. So, let's move on to our solution that will be presented by Tuan Muhammad Arif Farhan.
Solution. The solution from our research for a better online classes environment with the paradigm shift are: firstly, for the 70% student, we will give some motivation and try to arrange their schedule. We will try to motivate them so that they can stay focused in classes and do some revision about what they have learned that day. Furthermore, we will encourage them to be more open with their teacher, ask everything that they don't understand, and use two-way communication in classes. In this way, the teacher will be able to see either the student understand or not what they had taught. We also suggest teachers to change the platform to Microsoft Teams. This is because the other platforms such as Google Meet and Zoom consume too many internet data, and some of parents and students can't afford to subscribe too much internet data for online classes. Next, after 2 weeks, we will call them again to ask either our solution has provided a better come out or not, so that we can say our research is effective or integrate. Lastly, they can finally adapt the new lifestyle with paradigm shift. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter, Muhammad Waizuddin.
In the nutshell, we have 4 things to point out. The first one is the level of effectiveness of online classes is decreasing. This happens because students can't stay focused in classes and some of problems may be factors too. Next, some of the students can't afford this new lifestyle as it is paradigm shift requires a lot of things to be considered as data and technology. Other than that, students and teachers had lost motivation due to the problem of MCO. Last but not least, two-way communication between teachers and students in online class is very important to study the effectiveness of online learning. We hope our research can be used for online learning improvement. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I wanted to say that that was a very good presentation, and I really like the fact that you said education is not about learning. Okay, so are you ready? Because we are going to continue with our question and answer session. Do you feel nervous?
Yeah.
Okay, so before we continue with the audience, would the judges like to give any questions or comments for our presenters?
Okay,
Can I
I'll
start
ask a
first?
question. All right, okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Doctor. Go ahead.
No worries. Go ahead.
All right. Participants, straight to question. Presenters, mind telling us what were the criteria that had been taken into consideration in choosing the participants as the samples? Thank you.
Excuse me. Can you repeat the question? I'm very sorry.
Yeah, sure. Earlier you mentioned about the participant, you mentioned about the samples. So if you don't mind, would you please tell us what were the criteria that have been taken into consideration in selecting them or choosing them?
Okay, thank you for repeating the question and thank you for asking the question. So I'll take the question. First of all, the criteria to interview them, 70% of the problematic students as the chart or the data that we got from the question. So we had called one of them to investigate what is their problem actually, why they have problems to focus on their classes. So the next criteria is the 30% of students that we got is their data or their answer is reliable and very good. They had enough conference with the online learning style. So we take the criteria. And for the teachers, we take the criteria which is they teach the most hardest subject like biology, physics, chemistry, and additional mathematics. So we can know more about their knowledges and their commitment in their classes. I think that answers your question.
Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Haliza, can I proceed with you after the audience's question?
No problem. That's okay. No problem.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a question from Nur Azmina. The question is, why do you choose to make a mixed methods survey rather than only a quantitative or a qualitative one? Presenters, can you address the question?
Thank you for the questions, user Nur Azmina. Am I audible enough?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Thank you. We choose the mixed method survey rather than quantitative or qualitative because we are very sure that mixed method survey give better result because in this mixed method surveys, students because we don't know which methods students always use. So if we give mixed method survey, they can be able to answer the questions in comfortable way. I think that's answer the question.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Haliza. I believe you would like to say something to our presenters.
All right. The topic that you have selected by this group is very interesting. I think it is no conventional futureless, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, can you explain further about the title of that topic and how that represents or embodies your investigation and your finding?
Thank you for the question. So I'll give the answers. So first of all, our topic is no conventional futureless. Students nowadays is the future leader of our country. So the research that we got is the online classes, is it effect the future leaders that will be leaders to make our country to be more famous and successfully. So, we want to look their progress to make our country more ahead. So when this is the question, rather the conventional, if they existed, can they still be a future leader that leads our country to the successful way? So we want to take a solution, give them solution to make they able to make sure they able to be a future leader that will lead our country to the most successful way, even though there is no conventional way. So that's why we took the topic no conventional futureless. There will be always a future without a conventional way. I think that answers your question.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we have enough time because it's already 5 minutes. So thank you to all the judges and also Sekolah Menengah Sains Tungun for clearing the air for today. So let's move on with our next school. So next, I would like to welcome our third school for today. Our fourth school for today, Sekolah Menengah Lahad Datu, with their topic online learning, its challenges and ways for improvement. Please welcome Muhammad Haikal Afiq bin Muhammad Hussein and Muhammad Irshad Hafiz bin Abdul Rahim Wilson. The floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Haikal Afif, bringing some news update from KPM News. In recent 2 years, the whole world has been shocked by the COVID-19 pandemic. Based on World Health Organization (WHO) on 2020, coronavirus, or known as COVID-19, can be defined as an infectious disease that's caused by the severe acute respiratory syndrome, or also known as SARS-CoV-2. Based on today's report, 12th of September 2021, the new COVID-19 cases in Malaysia has reached 19,198 cases, and this situation has increased the concerns of all people in Malaysia. Focus on education. The school session in Malaysia will be continuing in online learning, and only examination classes will be go to the schools for most of the states in Malaysia. Consequently, the teachers and students still have to face the challenges of online learning that might cause bad outcome for both parties.
So, that's why today we are from Sekolah Menengah Sains Lahadatu have conducted a research regarding this issue. Today, we will present our research with title Online Learning, the Challenges and Ways for Improvement.
Before we go into the deeper parts, first thing first, we need to know what is online learning, what is the definition, what is the meaning. So based on Putra SL 2020, online learning is learning activities that carried out with online media and face-to-face meetings are replaced with internet-based methods. Before the pandemic, the students are used to go to school, university, or other places of study to pursue knowledge, but now it has changed where teaching and learning are done online to prevent the spread of this COVID-19 virus, which is indeed very harmful to students and teachers. Although this situation has prevented us from doing our lives as usual, but not all things should be postponed, one of which is education. Therefore, indeed learning in this way is one of the educational innovations in response to the challenges of the availability of varied learning resources. This is said by Manulang and Sabdan 2020.
The COVID-19 had brought a huge impact in our education, and this new type of learning has a big difference compared with the traditional one. The main difference is our learning used to be physical, while right now we are using virtual learning. Then, in online learning, it can be both synchronous and asynchronous learning, but face-to-face learning only can be synchronous. Synchronous learning means the learning is running in real time, while asynchronous is the other way around. This means, in physical learning, teachers are engaging students in real time in a classroom, while in the online world, real-time learning can be done through streams and Zoom calls, or teachers can record a learning video for students to check out at a later date. Besides that, online learning also gives one the access to educational materials and information that is more than face-to-face learning. Other than that, the current learning gives a more personalized kind of learning for students, while the physical one is more to a true classroom learning.
So, our objective here are to determine the challenges faced by teachers and students in online learning and to identify the ways to improve the effectiveness of online learning.
Focus on methodology. This research is a quantitative approach because we want to generalize the results to wider population. While the method used is the survey method because it is very suitable in uncovering perspectives related to online learning. As for the survey, the questionnaire was made in a Google form so that it was easily shared and accessed by the teachers and students in Sabah. Before that, a pilot test of the survey conducted to teachers of Sekolah Menengah Sains Lahadatu to validate our questionnaire. Then, necessary modifications were made based on their feedback. But why we choose Sabah? Because the research gap where there is lack of research of online learning in Sabah have conducted before, and Sabah is a less developed state and have large of rural area. The data obtained were analyzed by frequency of common response and were stated in percentage. The subject in this research were 476 of secondary school students, 29 of university students, and 32 of teachers from various districts in Sabah. As you can see on the pie chart, there are over 18 districts in Sabah involved in this research, and it almost covered all districts in Sabah. Then, most of the respondents are from rural and suburban area that could satisfy the research gap and prove our research precisely.
To begin with, we have received responses from 537 respondents who have their own opinions related to online learning. So as we can see here, there are 62.8% of students and teachers who enjoy online learning and the rest do not, which is 37.2%. This shows that online learning can be accepted to replace face-to-face learning. Nevertheless, we cannot deny that not everyone enjoy online learning and some of them may be like online learning for certain reasons only, but there are still among them who have many challenges that need to be faced during online learning.
From our research, we can know that what students and teachers like about online learning. The most thing they like about it is the free environment. Other than that, they like more exposure on technology and apps for Google+. Have more time for self and family, personalized learning, and could apply many types of study or teaching methods.
Now, we go to the first objective, what challenges do we face in online learning? The result of survey shows that 64% people choose poor internet connection as one of the challenges that faced by young students and teachers during online learning. Syed Ahmad Azhar said that poor connection may disturb the learning process such as live session, and the quality of information that has been delivered will be affected. And this problem is more pronounced for students and teachers in rural areas. Second, lack of motivation is the second most challenge that chosen by respondents with 60%. As Sean and Asha 2012 stated that what we learn when we choose to learn and how we learn can be affected by motivation. But ineffective teaching method, lesson presentation, or interaction can also lead to lower motivation for learning. Third, poor interaction between students and teachers. Dr. Zaima Azhar et al. Said in their research, communication is a motivational tool for students in their studies. It is very important for transferring thoughts. Hence, if the interaction between students and teachers are poor, the students will be less involved and interested to their classes. And this is agreed by 58.8% respondents from our survey. Meanwhile, these three challenges are the lowest percentage from our survey, which are mental health issues with 42.9%, lack of technical skills for online system with 57.2%, and lastly, lack of digital device with only 31.8% in total.
Move on to the second objective. There are 6 major ways to improve the effectiveness of online learning, and the highest choice is the government or the responsible parties need to provide better internet access, especially in the rural area, with 62.2% people agree. Muhammad Adnan et al. 2020 also suggests this way for the undeveloped area in Pakistan due to high complaint about unstable connection during online class. When better internet access can be provided, thus it will make the online learning become smoothly without any interruption. The second highest choice in this graph with 58.8% is school or institution should provide effective timetable like 3 to 4 subjects only per day. This thing will reduce the student stress that caused by too much learning session in a day. Moreover, Baron and Christian et al. 2005 in his research, by reducing schedule time can optimize every subject's learning and increase the student achievement. Thirdly, 50.7% of respondents agree that teacher or lecturer should encourage two-way communication and creative approach during online learning. This thing will make the learning session become more active and interesting for students to join the online class. Shivangi Dawan 2020 once said that educators must spend a lot of time in making effective strategies for giving online instruction because creative communication is the key for better online learning. Next, 50.1% of respondents agreed that government or the responsible parties should give free digital devices to the needy. For example, government of Sabah donates 10,000 laptop through bantuan instant computer to the Form 5 and Form 6 students in the state start from 19 July 2021. But this effort is still not comprehensive because it only focusing on Form 5 and Form 6 students only. So more donation involved the other levels and grades should be provided in future. Lastly, the two lowest percentage of the ways for improvement is program to boost one's motivation should be had from time to time with only 48.6% of respondents agree. And schools or institutions should give extra classes or webinar courses to increase skills in using technology with only 28.3% of respondents agree. Therefore, I don't really think these two ways can improve the effectiveness of online learning, especially in Sabah.
In conclusion, all the challenges faced need to be addressed promptly and effectively. The government as well as schools play an important role in this matter so that every student has equal right to education and no one is left behind. last but not least, small sample size and scope of discussion were some of the major limitations of this research study. As the result, mainly based on the opinions of students in Sabah only. Future researchers should either increase the sample size or choose Malaysia as the research area. Plus, the inclusion of more teachers or lecturers in future studies might help in understanding the issues faced by instructors regarding online education.
Last but not least, these are our references in conducting this research. That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I love the presentation, especially about education in Sabah, because I had never been there before. So let's continue with our question and answer session. I'm sorry. So we will proceed with the question from the audience, and afterward, judges, you can give any comments or additional question. So do we have any inquiries from the audience? Since there are no questions from the audience, I would like to invite the judges to ask any question they might have.
Yeah, I would like to ask a question. What is the biggest challenge that you face when you're conducting your research?
All right. Thank you for the questions. I will take this question. Okay. The biggest challenges while we conduct this research is this is the first time we were doing this type of research as a high school student. So we need to explore many references and journals to complete the research. Other than that, it is quite hard for us to communicate with each others in our team because we here in Sabah got a quite serious problem on internet access. And last but not least is we had to manage our time and take more time in a day to do the research since we got to join the online classes in the morning until the evening. So we got to do the research at night, and some of the day we stay up at late night to finish the research.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for the explanation. Do you have any comments from the judges? Okay, so we proceed with the audience first. So from Nur Azmina Zamia, she asked, by comparing traditional learning and online learning as stated in your presentation, in your opinion, which type of learning is more effective and why? Can the presenters kindly address the question?
Alright, I will take this one. Question is which type of learning is more effective and why? In my opinion, I think both the types of learning has the advantage and disadvantage. So, for example, the traditional learning, that is face-to-face learning, is what we call as has more interact among teachers and students because the students can meet the teachers to ask a question if they don't understand what the teachers teach. But in online learning, even though they can ask the teachers directly, they still can do they still can search the internet to get to more to get to know more about the syllabus that they study. I hope that will answer the question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you again. I'm sure the question have been answered accordingly. So do you have any comments or question?
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
Do we have time? All right. Okay.
Yes.
First, presenters, hi. Congrats to you. Okay, straight to question. I'm very impressed looking at the numbers of participants involved in this study, in this research. So mine, if you don't mind, can you please share with us how did you manage to reach all of them, considering they were coming from different district in Sabah. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. So let me take this question. So how we manage to get the large number of participants in our research is we have shared this question A, which is in the Google form. We shared the link to WhatsApp group for me. I'm as the leader for like the sharing of about this Google Form. So I will say in like study group, I've joined so many study groups in Telegram and in WhatsApp, and and also I've done some group quiz group for the like 10 quiz for Sabah. So I will ask them to answer this question. So that's all. I hope it answer your question.
Okay, thank you.
So, okay. So do you have any comments?
Wait, Auni, I'm sorry, because there's no more time.
Oh, okay.
I'm
We
very
will
sorry,
continue
but
our
your
last.
5 minutes is up.
Okay. So thank you to all the judges and congratulations to Sekolah Menengah Sains Lahad Datu for answering the question today. So let's proceed with our last school for this session.
Okay, so Auni, I think this is one of the benefits. I think I know there are a lot of downsides to doing it virtually, online and all, but this is one of the benefits because we can even have the event with people from all over the country. All over the world. For example, we have Sekolah Menengah Atas Negeri 1 Purworejo from Indonesia. And the presenters are Lucas Edwin Ardiansyah and also Angel Veronica Valevi.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, we are from Sekolah Menengah Atas Negeri 1 Purworejo, Indonesia. Are going to discuss about Merdeka Belajar to fulfill the well-being needs of high school students during pandemic. First of all, I would like to introduce our team who will speak in this occasion. The first is me, Angel Veronica Valevi, and the second is
Lucas Edwin Ardiansyah,
the third,
Nanda Surya Farando,
and the last.
Ilham Sabila Rasa.
So, I'm going to tell you the background first, before we go to the core of this presentation. The COVID-19 pandemic has prompted many changes in the teaching and learning process from direct to online classroom activities. Teachers and students must adapt themselves to the new online teaching and learning paradigm. So, to meet the students' well-being needs, the government of the Republic Indonesia had launched the Merdeka Belajar learning program, like other learning programs launched in other countries during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, can the program fulfill the students' well-being needs or not? So, we're going to discuss this problem.
We in the Ministry of Education have translated this vision into the concept of Merdeka Belajar. The translation of that is the freedom to learn. There are many, many elements of this philosophy of the freedom to learn that will create transformational change in our education system.
Based on the background, the problem we identified is well-being needs of high school students are not fulfilled. Many students find it difficult to study during the pandemic. Most of them are stressed, lack socialization, do not understand the material given, and lack physical activity during distance learning. One of the solutions from the government is named Merdeka Belajar. Merdeka Belajar is a program launched by the Indonesia Ministry of Education. In the Merdeka Belajar program, students are given freedom to access knowledge. It means that the source of knowledge are not limited to classroom context, but also outside the classroom, internet, libraries, and also in the surrounding environment.
Then, in this program, the teaching learning atmosphere should be fun for students. This program is expected to help students fulfill the well-being needs.
The method we used to collect data was a questionnaire. We asked several questions related to welfare needs of students while doing distance learning. We shared these questions to students in various regions through the Coco phone. The data obtained through questionnaires, we found out what problems students experience when doing distance learning. Finally, the right solution to meet the welfare needs of these students are formulated. For gathering the data through the questionnaire data, we refer to four problems faced by the student when attending distance learning, namely cognitive, physical, psychological, and social aspects. On the cognitive aspect, there are 81.8% of students whose cognitive aspects are not disturbed, and only 18.2% of students whose cognitive aspects are disturbed. In the physical aspect, as much as 77.35% of the student physical aspects were not disturbed, and only 15.36% of the students whose physical aspects were disturbed. Looking at the two data, it can be assumed that the cognitive aspect and physical aspect of students when participating in distance learning are not problematic. On the psychological aspect, 56.85% of students were not disturbed, and as many as 43.50% of students experienced problems in the psychological aspect. On the social aspect, only 56.9% of students don't have problems with their social, and the remaining 43.1% of students have problems with their social aspect. From these two aspects, namely psychological and social aspect, many students are disturbed when doing distance learning.
As explained before, Merdeka Belajar is one of solutions from the government of Republik Indonesia to fulfill Indonesian student well-being needs. Students are the subject of education and the object of the paradigm shift that has passed during the pandemic. We also have responsibility to fulfill our well-being needs. Our solution, a student to others that also affected by the COVID-19 are: first, virtual tea talk. Basically, this method is chit-chat with the classmates to make a better social relationship with each other. Second, physical exercise. On break time after the teaching learning process or after it, we can do some light physical exercise. We can also do this with friends virtually. Third, virtual peer teaching. This method not only can improve our cognitive states, but also our social relationship with others. Fourth, see greens after class or long exposure working with gadgets. Based on a previous study, after 1 to 2 hours using gadgets, we are recommended to refresh ourselves by looking at plants or the green environment around us in order to avoid CVS or computer vision syndrome. Fifth, self-reward. Sixth, time management. We should not only manage to accomplish our tasks on time, but also have qualified and enough rest. 7. Quality time with our families. We should spend our time having quality time that can have after dinner or at any time according to family deals. And of course, without gadgets. Then last but not least, hobby as a stress relief.
That's all from us. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we continue, I would like to ask, is that your what do you call school attire? Because it was very cool. It was like a police, with the badge and everything.
Thank you.
Okay, so now it's time for the question and answer session. Do we have a question from the audience? Okay, there it is. So presenters, in your opinion, what do the students mean when they respond that they are disturbed during distant learning? Would any of you like to answer the question?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I'll answer that.
The students mean when they respond that they are disturbed during distance learning, or maybe the connection, the internet connection to did the teaching and learning process online. So they made a problem with the connection internet to meet the teaching and learning process. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, do we have another question? Okay, never mind. We'll just proceed with the judges. So, would you like to give any comments or questions? I'm sure the presenters would be more than happy to answer them.
Okay, I'll ask a question. Why did your team decide to focus on the topic of well-being for your research?
Okay, let me answer that question. We focus on the well-being needs or fulfill well-being needs on the students because in this pandemic era or the pandemic outbreak, the situation has brought many changes in the teaching and learning process, especially for us as students. In other words, we are being the object, the paradigm shift that occurs in education. So we must adapt ourselves to the new online teaching and learning. We want to search or do on research for our well-being needs because we want to know about what the other students in Indonesia, their well-being needs is fulfilled or not. So this is called the a solution for the government to get a better for our education, especially in this COVID-19 pandemic. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That was very good. Would any of the other judges like to add anything?
Yes, another question, please. Can you please share with us some of the difficulties that you might have while conducting the research? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I'll answer. So the difficulties we met when we did our research is because this is our first time to did research online. So we had problem on managing time to meet each other directly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Ani, do we have a bit more time?
Yes, like 1 minute.
Okay, so Miss Mohana, would you like to add anything under 1 minute?
Yeah, okay, about your program, your Merdeka Belajar. So personally, how did you actually benefit from it?
Okay, so before I answer about the benefits of Merdeka Belajar program, I will tell you about a little bit detailed explanation about the Merdeka Belajar. So this program is essence or structure of the program is from the concept or philosophy of teaching learning by Ki Hajar Dewantara, which is first Ministry of Education in Indonesia. So the benefit of this Merdeka Belajar is we as student meanwhile in the teaching learning process the atmosphere is fun, so we doesn't feel stressful in this online teaching learning because of the COVID pandemic 19 outbreak.
Okay, thank you very much to both of you. I think we have a little bit more time, like in 30 seconds or so. So, would any of the judges like to say anything at all?
I'll ask one last question. How does the experience of doing a research has helped you to strengthen your personality or even character?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
All right. How does the experience doing a research has helped you to strengthen your personality or even your character? The experience that you gain from these doing the research, how does that help you to strengthen your personality?
I will answer the question. So the experience that gained by us after do these researches, we feel that we more know about our environment, our friends, our other students in Indonesia. So we more know about ourselves. This is the improvement by our character. So our character, I think, in my personal opinion, will get better than
I'm very sorry
before we do this research.
to interrupt. I- I'm very sorry to interrupt because we have no more time. It's already 5 minutes. So can we continue?
Yes, I'm very sorry because the 30 seconds is very short. So thank you very much all the judges and also Sekolah Menengah Atas Negeri 1 Purworejo.
Okay.
Okay, so before we end, we have a video about the quiz. That we have a glitch just now, so we will play it now. Okay, that marks the end of our second session for the day. Thank you to all the judges. We appreciate you taking time off and joining us today. And of course, the presenters, the teachers, and everyone else. Before we adjourn, okay, because of the video just now, I would like to just remind you all that there is a quiz in the chat box. So I can guess that all of you are tired. My back hurts a little bit. So do not worry because after this, we have a break until 2 p.m. so you can get relaxed and get refreshed. But don't forget about us because we will still continue our session. The last session actually. So that's all for now. I wish you all a very good day and goodbye.
Bye.